Hey there, everybody out there in the VIP club. Welcome. Justin Chamness here. This is always the Real Estate Wholesalers Club. Always the Real Estate Wholesalers Club. You know, I've debated many times club. Is that an old school word? Because now everybody today is using the words community, tribe, my crew, my posse. The Real Estate Wholesalers Posse. I like that. Well, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you may be. Good to see you here, Victor. Good to see Raed here.
What's up, Justin?
Hey, good to see you, man.
Likewise, brother.
We are broadcasting nowhere today except in the VIP club. VIP club people deserve special attention, and that's what we want to give them here. And we're talking about mastering the phone to get property deals. We've talked a lot about this. This is something we talk about all the time, because as we've discovered lately, the strategies, lease option, a lot of people are doing lease options. What about the strategies of subject to or ugly house wholesaling with the discounts and all that? Yeah, a lot of people are doing the strategies. The strategies are not new. It's not the strategies that makes you different and special. What about the marketing? Well, you know, a lot of us are using the same kind of marketing. We're using ringless voicemails, or we're using text blasts, or we're using some type of online marketing, or we're using driving for dollars, or we're all doing a base. I bet if you lumped everybody into one big pot, we're probably all doing a half a dozen or so different marketing techniques. Not really anything horribly. Hey, good to see you, Greg. Good to see you, Arturo and George. What's happening, man? Yeah,
What's up, my man?
Yeah, good to see you, dude. So it's not the marketing strategy. It's not the technique, the subject to or the lease option or the wholesale cash discount that makes you special. It's not the marketing that makes you special so much. It's what? Your ability to communicate, get on the phone, meet the homeowner where they are in their situation, recap with them what that situation is, because you got to know a little bit. And then what you're going to do is you're going to offer to solve the issues that they have with your wonderful opportunity to do a lease option or maybe an ugly house deal or what have you. The technique is a tool that you put in your toolbox and you pull it out when you need it, right? I know some guys that fix everything with a hammer and some duct tape. If all you have in your toolbox is a hammer and some duct tape, you could still fix quite a few things. I am that guy. Okay. I'm not kidding you. I am that guy. I've got a hammer. I've got some duct tape. I buy the gold duct tape though. You know, everybody gets the silver duct tape. I buy the gold duct tape.
I can see you.
That way, when I put it on anything, everybody knows.
It's Justin.
Yeah. It's great to have a bunch of folks like you guys and gals to hang out with, that we all have kind of kindred spirits and kindred goals and ambitions. Freedom, guys. I have a lot of freedom in my life. And if I could relate it back to one thing, it's that I somehow, some way, somewhere overcome my fear of talking to people on the phone. Somehow, some way I did. And I think I just came down. I think I had just had enough. You study for a long time. You try this, you try that, you try the other thing for a long time. And eventually I figured out, hey, you know what? It doesn't matter if I learn a new technique. It doesn't matter if I learn a new marketing strategy. I need to know how to convert these leads into deals. How do I do it? Well, Claude Diamond, he'll tell you how. I'm connected with Claude Diamond. He's my mentor. He's taught me a lot. I knew a lot before I met Claude. Claude took me to another level. So a lot of those things that I'm sharing with you, I've picked up from Claude Diamond. A lot of you are familiar with him. He comes on the show pretty regular. probably need to have him on again. And maybe we will here. Maybe I can talk him into coming on next week. He's that kind of guy. He probably will if he can.
Club Home is where I saw you first time.
Yeah.
That's how I became acquainted with you.
Yeah. Claude's a good dude. Claude's a tough one. He's a tough guy, tough character.
New York.
Yeah, he is. He's from New York. His mom and dad are immigrants, from what I understand.
Yeah.
And just kind of had he's got a real unique perspective on things and on business and on the economy and on you and making money. And so when I saw him, I'll tell you what I like most about Claude. This is kind of off the subject, but what I like a lot about Claude, what made me decide to do business with Claude, is when you Google Claude Diamond. Claude's been around for 30 years doing this. And you Google Claude, and you know what? You won't really find any negative. You won't find any negative comments about Claude. Claude's the real deal. So, and I knew that right away, listening to him, having been a salesman and other things. I was like, oh man, this guy, he's got the sauce. He's got the sauce. How do I incorporate this into my real estate business? This is what I've been missing. Some of this right here. And that's really what I'm endeavoring to share with you guys. A lot of the things that I've learned there, I've grown with him and kind of climbed a little bit of a ladder, maybe, if there is one. Kind of worked my way into having some proficiency here with what he teaches and what he shares. And so that's what I'm trying to pass along to you guys, is the structure, the format, how to get it done, how to make it work, and how to do it. And most importantly, in less than 3 minutes. Are you sleepy, Ace?
Oh, sorry. I was already sorry. I thought I was on mute. I have my coffee. I apologize.
That's all right. One time I was in church sitting in the second row, and my brother was with me, and he did that very same thing during a special song. It was hilarious.
I've been up early. I'm actually driving right now.
It's all right, man. I get sleepy too. If you get too sleepy though, make sure to pull over and take a rest.
But
okay?
yesterday I got a good deal yesterday. A 5-minute call and it turned into a deal, a brand new house.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Tell us more about it.
The seller called. She called me. I've been doing. I do SEO in my area. Called me. Say how it works. I asked, well, that's a good question. Like, well, how do you think it works? It's like, well, you buy houses cash or how does that work? Like, yeah, well, it depends. It's a brand new house. They literally just bought it 8 months ago. A brand new house. So it's like, what happened? What made you guys? I know it's not an issue with the house. What happened personally that made you guys want to sell it now? It's like, well, my husband, he didn't lose his job, but he got transferred, so we're gonna be traveling the country. It's like, well, you can always rent it, right? You can. Wow. It's a brand new house. You probably get $1,500. He's like, yeah, but we don't want to deal with that. He's like, okay, well, you know what? Hey, who's gonna make the decision? You, your husband, or you guys together? The best thing that I can do for this deal, I can't buy it cash. Recently, to make this deal work, I had to buy it at $120 cash. What I can do, again, I don't know if you guys are open to, I can just take over the payments for the next 3 years and I can sell it off late. He's like, okay, how does that work? Well, yeah, simple as that. Again, just take over the payment.
Yeah. That's great.
We hung up. The husband called me like 30 minutes later, 2-minute call. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Simple as that. I didn't go into like you say, explainer mode or
oh, yeah.
It's simple as it sounds. There's a paper, we sign it, I take over your payments. In 3 years, I pay it off. Brand new house. They just bought it. That one's gonna be a cash flow. My exit strategy on that one, I'll probably be cash flowing around $600 a month on that one, and I can probably ask like a $20K down payment. Well, I'll probably net 15 because I gotta give 5 to the lady that gets me the buyers.
Oh, that's great.
So again,
$15,000. You said
15K in my pocket and $600 cash flow.
Oh, yeah.
It's a brand new house. Like, I was surprised. Like, literally, it was a brand new built house in August of last year, and they sold it in October of last year.
Arturo, did you have fun doing that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been watching your guys' role plays, and I just simply I like your tonality as far as your voice. So, like, how does that work? Like, yes, like I just take over your payments. We do a paperwork, and attorneys, they'll charge you for that, which I'll pay from my end. Again, simple as that. I take over your payments for 3 months. Basically, I just put my account instead of yours, and that's it.
My tonality. You like the tonality?
Yeah, I've been watching you guys on the road. But I didn't make it live, but I saw them on replays, and I just saw your this morning. I've been up since 6. I saw your what's it called? With your live seller calls.
Yeah.
That you did. So I've been watching here and that where you sell it. Your tonality basically is real low and confident. So yeah, I kind of decreased it. So that helped me. And
Man.
yeah, again, real nice deal. Just basically less than 5 minutes, 3 minutes on the first call. And 2 minutes on the second.
Congratulations. Do I need to go find the cowbell? Do I need to find the cowbell and ring it?
Oh, and thank you. I actually have one in my house, and every time my wife goes crazy. Stop doing that. The dogs go crazy.
That's it. Okay. You know how Claude has the, I don't know why my camera goes in and out of focus. You know how Claude has this 3-minute timer, and that's kind of his symbol of you know, what he does.
Yeah.
I just discovered mine, Arturo, with you. I gotta get some little mini cowbells. So when you guys hit some successes, you can.
Yeah, definitely. And actually, again, I'm sorry I missed those live, the closing the deal live calls.
That's all
you guys
right.
said that we can join you guys on a Monday meeting with Claude.
Oh yeah. You could join me. Just let me know if you want to, and I need to give him a day or two notice so he knows that to expect you, so he won't kick you out.
Yeah. So yeah, I didn't know that, which is that's more value than you can ever ask for. So I thank you for that.
Yeah, I'll take care of you. Yeah. Shoot me a DM and remind me so I don't forget.
Definitely.
That's, and then I'll give you the information on how to get in and what times and all that. Congratulations, brother.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. You've earned it. You deserve it, man. You are a deadly assassin at this game, and I have much respect for you.
Likewise, man. I just I'm trying to be as incognito as possible. Just again, like you say, you work in silence. I work in the back end. Again, nobody knows what I do. I get on the call and I make it work, and the deal come in.
Yeah, that's great. Tomorrow we have a member of the VIP that's going to be talking on the Saturday Shut Up Money show, the Saturday 10 a.m. Central Time, right here in the Zoom room tomorrow. And he got his first deal. He got his Shut Up Money.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's going to tell the story. So the VIP club is on fire, y'all. I love it. You guys are really putting into practice some of these things. And here's the best part. You're doing it in your own way. You're doing it in your own business, and you're doing it for your own families, right? In your own lives. And that's so exciting and encouraging. It's really, really cool. Really cool. I'm proud of you guys. Today we're going to role play some more. Y'all ready? Y'all want to role play? Who wants to role play today? Anybody? Greg wants to role play. What about George down there? George, you want to role play with us?
Nah.
Okay, that's cool. Greg, you have to unmute, man. I couldn't read your lips. What'd you say, Greg? You have to hit that unmute button.
That was on purpose.
Oh, okay.
I was trying to act like the audio wasn't working.
Oh,
You were moving your lips.
I see.
Yeah.
Aisha's camera isn't working, so you guys are in the same club.
Right. Yeah, her camera's broke.
I'm just picking on you guys. Man, I hate how my camera goes in and out of focus. I got to fix that somehow. Anyway, sorry about that, guys.
We don't really see it from here.
Huh? Oh, you don't
really
see it
from here? No.
Okay. I go blurry every now and then, or maybe it's just me.
Yeah, that's probably on your screen.
Maybe it's just my vision gets blurry.
A couple of daiquiris you took.
I started way early this morning. What time? All right, guys, let me share the screen and pull up this 2.0 mastering the phone cheat sheet that we've been kind of developing and building here a little bit.
That's awesome. I was watching it last night. It's awesome. I was up to probably 2 in the morning, just going over the video.
Oh, that's cool, man. I appreciate you doing that. I appreciate you saying that. You guys have heard me go through this before. I'm just going to go through it super quick here to kind of refresh your memories, because we're not on YouTube, we're not on Facebook, anywhere except our private group. Okay, so this is just a private session, y'all. And I'm doing that because you guys deserve special attention, also, but because you're in the VIP, but because you're stepping out there. We don't need to have it on blast, right? So if this is your first venture into the role play sessions, participating, you're safe here. Okay, nobody's gonna laugh at you too hard or make fun of you or anything like that. So
yeah, I'm shy.
Yeah, he's a shy guy. We have to watch him.
Mm-hmm.
We have to kind of cater to Victor a little bit.
A couple of shots will make you unshy.
All right. In the agenda, there's 3 sections, right? In the agenda, the qualification questions, and the closing. The agenda, you set the roadmap. Hi, my name is Justin. I'm calling because I'm a real estate investor. I'm looking to pick up a property deal today. I saw your property online. It was interesting to me. I wanted to ask you a few questions. You can ask me a few questions, and if this is not a good fit for you, what I have to offer you, then you can just tell me no. You can fire me. Is that okay? Okay, that's the agenda. I say it a little bit different probably every time, but basically the same every time. All right, the questions in the qualification section: why, money, timing, and commitment. Let me propose some example questions. For the why would you be selling? Okay, and I like to say it like this: how long have you lived in the property, and why would you be selling it now? Okay, sometimes I'll divide that up and I'll say, how long have you lived in the property? Oh, I've lived in the property 10 years. Oh, it must be home to you by now. Why would you want to sell? Okay, it doesn't matter how you ask, but you better find out why. Usually the answer is a sports news, weather, tip of the iceberg kind of bullshit answer. Yeah, my job, my wife, my spouse, my kids, my cousin, the house, blah, blah, whatever, it doesn't matter. Oh, well, you better ask some follow-up questions. That's what I call turning the screw, to get a little tighter in here to the why. All right. You might even have an opportunity with a guy that's talkative and open to you to talk 2 or 3 times. You also don't want to forget to listen closely and bond with this guy. Oh yeah, I've got a friend that went through a similar issue and this is the experience he had. And man, are you going through something like this? So you're bonding. I throw a heart at you right then. All right, once that's done, the money question. Here's how I like to ask it. What is the property worth? And what are you asking? Okay, so that's how I like to ask it. And then I like a follow-up question. How did you come up with those numbers? That's about all I do there. Sometimes I'll go a little further. I'll say, why don't you list it with a realtor? You might make more money. That's not even really what I want them to do, but this is a negative redirection. Well, I think you should list it with a realtor. Make more money. Oh, no, you don't want to do that. Oh, okay. All right, timing. I'm interested in doing something pretty quickly today, Mr. Homeowner. You're not interested in doing anything like that with me today, are you? Okay. That's a good example of a timing question. All right. Commitment. This commitment is something that some folks are confused on. What does commitment mean? Okay. Commitment means, I'm going to draw a line right here, guys, separating the conversation section of qualification questions and the closing section. There's a line here. Do not offer. Do not present. Do not shoot your shot until you've completed the agenda and the qualification section. The closing section is where you shoot your shot. This is where you make your offer. And of course, this is how we do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the last question in the qualification section here, commitment, should be something like this. Mr. Homeowner, if I were to make you an offer today, are you the decision maker? Are you in a position to be able to move forward with me today? I want to know, is this the right guy? Is this the decision maker? Is this guy ready to make a commitment before I shoot my shot? Because what if he comes back and says, oh, well, no, it's actually me and my brother. My brother owns it, and he's actually kind of the decision maker. I'm just kind of going through some of these calls, and we'll have to talk about it. Oh, okay. So this is not even the right guy. So even if I made an offer, it ain't even going to matter. Okay. You need to find out if they are committed to doing something with this property, if the offer's right. Okay. Now, if he's agreed and everything's lined up, you can move into the closing section. Recap his situation. Offer to solve that. Imagine, Mr. Homeowner, I was able to make that property go away. I was able to get that payment off your plate. Imagine I was able to keep it for maintenance from being an issue for you, where you don't have to go mow the grass no more. You don't have to do any of this anymore. If I were able to do all that, that's not what you're looking to do today, is it? Okay, what am I doing? I'm recapping and I'm offering to solve. Now, I'm going to ask the question, Mr. Homeowner, if you want full price, I may be able to give you full price if you're interested in doing something creative with me for a while first. A lease, you may say lease, or you may say something creative, however you like to put it. So you want to ask the question. And then he's going to have objections. Mr. Homeowner, yep, you're interested, except you're afraid they're not going to make the payment. Okay, you're concerned, Mr. Homeowner? I'm confirming. You're concerned that they're not going to make the payment. Okay. That's a legitimate concern. I'm confirming with you now that this is a legitimate concern. If I were to change the agreement we have here to read that you get an extra non-refundable month's worth of payments for your pocket, that would help protect you against anything like that. Would that make you feel more comfortable? And can we go ahead and move forward today? Confirm, offer to change the agreement, and then ask the closing question again. And I'm going to keep him in this loop until the sun goes down or until I get my deal. Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, that would make it feel better if I had a little, a month's worth in my pocket. Okay, great. But what happens if they tear up the house? That's a great question, Mr. Homeowner. Your concern is that they're going to tear up the house. Is that correct? Yes, that's correct. Okay. I've confirmed with him. Change now. Mr. Homeowner, if I change the agreement to read that you have the ability to approve or disapprove this prospect before they move in, you can see all the stuff we know about them and you can be in the driver's seat. Does that make you feel more comfortable, and can we move forward, or probably not? Confirm, change, closing question. Okay. I'll keep you in that circle until I say it's over. Now, you saw me draw this line between the qualification section and the closing section. When do you go into a closing scenario with a guy? When he's on a scale of 1 to 10, when he's over 5, you might go ahead and move into the closing section. But what if I'm on him with a seller, or I'm role playing here with a guy, and the why and the money and the timing and the commitment, and he's just not motivated? I think he's a 2 or a 3. What do I do then?
Disqualify him.
Disqualify his ass and get off the phone. Right. Do not cross this line and shoot your shot. You are wasting precious time with an unmotivated prospect. Does that make sense, guys? I hope it makes sense. Okay. So, any questions before we jump right in role play? Any questions? Are you ready? We're going to make mistakes. We're going to screw up. We're going to blow it. We're going to get asked a question, or somebody's going to say something today, and we're going to go, gosh, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say there. Hey, great. That's what we're doing here. Okay. That's what we're doing here. We're practicing with each other so that when we get to the leads, we can make the leads pay. And that's really what we're here for, is get some money. Okay. Who's up first? Who's up first? Anybody want to role play?
I'll go.
This is Dion. I will.
Dion and Greg? Dion and Greg. Who's going to be the homeowner and who's going to be the calling machine?
I need to practice. I need to be the buyer, please.
Okay,
Greg, you ready to be the homeowner?
I reckon.
Greg, Greg, I want you to pick a number between 1 and 10, and that's the motivation level I want you to be. But don't tell us what it is. Just pick one in your head before we start. This is the guy you're going to be now. And I want you to be this guy the whole way, unless he's really good and he can change that. He might push you up or he might push you down the scale, but you got to start somewhere. Okay, so if you got that in
Sounds
mind,
good.
okay, Greg's ready. Are you ready, Dion?
As ready as I'm gonna get.
I better go get that freaking cowbell when you get started, because I think this is going to
You
be
can do it,
better.
Dion.
It's going to be good,
Oh, yeah.
guys. All right, I'm going to check off as we go through. I'm going to check off as you hit each stage. We're going to check the box here, okay? So when you fellas are ready, let's ring, ring, and go, go.
Hello.
Hello, my name is Dion. I was calling about the property I seen listed on Zillow. Is it still available?
It sure is. Yes, sir.
All right, that's great. If you don't mind, I'd like to ask you a few questions about it, and you have opportunity to ask me a few questions. And if for some reason there isn't a fit or no meeting of the minds, feel free to kick me off the phone and we can part as friends. Would that be okay?
That sounds pretty fair. Thank you, Dion.
Great. All right. So I guess, first of all, how long have you owned the house or lived in the house, and why are you selling it? It's a very nice home in a great area.
Well, we've really only been here about 3 years, and I'm used to having some acreage, and we were scaling down, and my wife talked me into coming into a subdivision, and right behind us was a big, beautiful forest. And I said, as long as I can walk out on this back deck and see this forest, I'll be happy here. I'll be okay here. And the next day, construction equipment showed up in the forest.
Uh-oh.
Mm. Mm.
So kind of a dream shatterer, huh?
Yeah, it didn't help me.
Mm.
So basically what you're saying is that the ability to have acreage and opportunity to kind of enjoy nature at your home is the reason that you're selling?
That is that, plus I was raised on a farm. I'm just not used to having people close to me. I mean, I love people, but I don't want to see them all the time.
Okay, I can certainly understand that. As that being your desired environment to live in, you deserve that. So the listing indicates that you were asking $320,000 for the house. Number one, is that still valid, and how did you come up with that price?
Well, actually, I'm going a little bit by what we gave for the house 3 years ago. We actually, I'm going to make this part up. We gave a little less than that, but I know property has, what's that a word? Appreciated?
Yeah.
In the last 3 years. And so I feel like it's probably right in the ballpark where it should be.
All right. All right. So let's just say, for the sake of this discussion, that's a fair and reasonable price. Is that the best price you could give, or would you be willing to have some flexibility there?
Well, if somebody could come up with some cash, I might have some flexibility, but not a whole lot. No.
Okay. All right. Well, and kind of moving on from that, in terms of timing, how soon are you looking to sell? You have any specific time frame that you're operating under?
Well, I don't have to move. I just want to move. And yeah, I'd like to sell as quickly as possible, but it's not like it's got to happen yesterday type thing.
Okay. All right. Well, let's suppose I agreed to the 320,000. Would you be interested at all in any form of creative transaction? As long as you were able to get your full price. Say if you were to lease it to me for a couple of years before I bought it.
Okay, I was wondering what you meant when you said creative. Well, I'm not, doesn't hit me as a real good idea. I mean, I might consider it, but I want to get my money out of this so I can go buy something else, really.
Okay. Well, how much, because you had mentioned that you've been living there for 3 years. So, I don't know what your equity situation is, but how much money would it take for you to feel comfortable to, be able to move on?
Well, I wouldn't want to take any less than 310. I really don't feel comfortable, but I guess if somebody could get me out quick, I'd probably go down $10,000.
Okay. All right. So if let's say we're able to do $310,000 and I could relieve you of your mortgage payments and put you in a position where you're able to seek out your greener pastures, so to speak. Is that something you'd be interested in doing today?
Well, I really don't have a mortgage.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, that's great. Well, I mean, that opens up other possibilities. I mean, would you like to be the bank of Greg and do an owner finance deal?
Well, it's not something I really thought about. The big thing for me, that at least has been for me, is getting cash and getting out of here. I guess I'd want to think about all this creative stuff you're talking about. I hadn't really thought about it.
All right. Well, I tell you what, maybe if you could give me your email address, I can maybe draft up a couple of proposals for you to review. And, if any of those are something you would consider and are interested in, I'd be more than happy to discuss it with you further.
Sure. If you want to send me some proposals, I'll be glad to review them.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. If you would just give me your email address and I'd be happy to get back in touch with you, and you enjoy the rest of your day.
Well, thank you, Dion. You take care. I'll be looking for them.
Okay.
All right,
Great,
thanks.
guys. Great job, Dion. You kept it together like at least 2/3 of the way, man, and in extremely classy, good fashion. Okay. You did extremely well through the agenda. You did extremely well through the qualification section, but you suffer from premature presentation. Okay. What happened there, guys? Let's talk about it. What happened? How did that fall apart? Because you had him eating out of your hand a little bit, and then something happened. Where was he on the scale of 1 to 10? You tell me, Dion, and then you tell me, Greg.
Honestly, I don't think he had quite gotten to a 5. I mean, because he said the magic words. He says, "I don't need to move. I just want to move," and those are two totally different things.
Okay. You think he was less than a 5? What about you, Greg? Where were you on a scale of 1 to 10?
I started, and I'm not sure I'm a good judge of that, but I wrote down 5 because I didn't want to be completely against it, but I didn't want to be completely for it either. So I just tried to stay in the middle.
Okay. I think you did pretty good at that too. Good job. Okay. Any thoughts or comments on this, on how it may have went wrong or where it went wrong?
The commitment.
Yeah, help me out, guys. I got my pen out ready to write down my notes.
Yep.
The commitment.
The commitment.
Yeah, you went a little bit into, again, why would you send him documents if he's not even, like, you can tell by his tone of voice that he's not even interested in.
You should have asked
and
him, like, listen, if I
doing
can meet all your needs today, you know, is this something that you'd consider doing today?
Yep. Okay, so what happened to you, Dion, was you went
like-
from, go ahead, Arturo.
like Justin said, when he said, yeah, I'll consider it. Well, you know what, sir? I appreciate you trying to consider what I'm trying to tell you, but I'm really trying to buy something today. It sounds like you're not 100% behind doing the creative. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Because you want, again, if you're gonna send him again, like Justin said, don't send him anything unless you have an 100% that he's gonna review them and he's gonna tell you yes or no. Again, when you do that double down, well, it kind of sounds like you're not 100% either behind the creative, and is that fair to say, sir? And then put him back on him. And if he tells you no, not really, then don't waste your time. Don't email nobody, nothing.
Yeah, I agree. I think what happened in the process here, Dion, is you nailed the agenda, you nailed the qualification section 1, 2, and 3. The why, you hit why 3 times. Awesome, dude. Awesome. I almost came up out of my chair screaming and hollering, running for the cowbell because it was cool. Okay. Money, you hit it 3 different times. You set this guy up, man. You nailed it. Timing, twice. You nailed it. I was so excited, man. But then you skipped 4 and you went right into the closing section. You skipped 1 and 2 of the closing section and went right to 3. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, that's what
Right.
happened. So here's how you could have done it. When he was asking about when you asked him about the timing and everything, and oh yeah, you know, he's interested in doing something pretty quick. Okay, great. If I'm able to do something with you pretty quick, we're on the same page today. There's nobody else that needs to be involved or anything. Is that correct? Wonderful.
Right.
You've completed the qualification section. If you still like he's less than a 5, don't cross this line right here.
Mm-hmm.
Get off the phone. Get
Yeah.
off the phone. Now, if he's over a 5, let's just assume for a minute he was over a 5. Mr. Homeowner, you know, I understand what you're saying about the house and the situation. And I know you said you don't really need to sell, but you said you have this issue with the why, this other issue with the why, the money, blah, blah. What I'd like to do is you need full price is what you're saying. And I'd like to give you full price. If I'm able to give you full price and in doing that, solve these problems that you just told me, these whys that you just told me, would you consider letting me buy that house from you for full price if you could do a rent or a creative scenario for about 2 years? Or just pop the question then. Okay, you have to set up the question. That's where you missed it a little bit. You didn't set him up for the question. Not a bad first run, guys. Not a bad first run. Not a bad first run. The other thing, you could have slowed down a little bit and bonded with him like on a man-to-man level.
Mm-hmm.
Just so he likes you a little bit better. That's all.
Okay.
I felt like he liked you, but you could have dolled it up a little bit, put on a little bit more perfume. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But excellent first right out of the gate, Dion. First right out of the gate with us, first here in the club, first today. When I go first off, I'm rusty as hell, guys. Every day. The first run out of the gate, I got to stretch and I'll make mistakes and I'll screw up and I'll do things. The second, third time I do it, I'm better. So I have no.
Hey, Justin.
Yeah.
Real quick, I want to just ask you a question because it's on my mind. I had a call yesterday with a gentleman, and I started going through my agenda, and he torpedoed it right away. Saying, "Why does it matter? How long I've, what question do you have? Why does it matter how long I've lived here? The house is for sale. I'm trying to sell it. Do you want to buy it?" And he had also made a comment that somebody else called me and was out asking me the same thing. I said, "Well, hey, that wasn't me." But I mean, he just kind of took a flamethrower to my process right away, and I was
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, is he a disqualified candidate then, or is he a qualified candidate?
he's disqualified for sure. But
Yeah.
I just, I was like, wow,
Yeah.
that I didn't even get a chance to get into the program.
A couple things about that, Dion. That's happened to me before. On a slightly related topic, when we were in the closing section of your role play, and he was like, "Yeah, send me your stuff, and I'll take a look at it." I mean, blah blah blah. Do you guys ever remember watching the movie Tommy Boy with Chris Farley?
Oh yeah.
Well, you could get a good look at a T-bone by sticking your head up a bull's ass, but I'd rather take the butcher's word for it. Right? That's kind of the point here, right? Like, I could send you these agreements, but wouldn't you rather just like work it out with me right here? This is even better. So if you like, I don't want to take time to send you diddly squat unless you're ready to do something. Okay. And it doesn't sound like it's a good fit. Now, when the guy gets on the phone with me and he says right away, "Hey, guess what, man? Somebody else called me with this. I'm not interested in any of this stuff whatsoever." I've even had him say this sound, I'm tired of these damn scammers calling me. And what difference does it make how long I've lived in the property? If you want to buy the house, buy the house. I had another guy ask me this. Why does everybody want to know how long I've lived in this house? My answer to that would have been, well, did you sell the house to the guy that asked before? No, I didn't. Okay, well, maybe we all want to know where this house has been and how it's been treated before we go spending cash on it. If you're not willing to help me out with what the house is like and how it's been, then I think it's not a good fit. Maybe we should just call this over, sir. Or can we continue talking? What happens now? I'll just cut his legs off. Listen, buddy, you don't have to fuck with me like that. If you don't want to answer questions, hey, cool. If I've even said to guys, you might have even heard me before on a live call where they've said this, and I'll say, well, have you ever bought a used car? If you had a chance to talk to the guy that owned it before, wouldn't you want to?
Good one.
Okay, this is
I
really
like
different.
video.
I like that one.
There's a video of Justin talking to a lady on that.
Yeah, it's no different. No different. I just want to know from the owner, what's wrong with it. You don't want to answer the question. Oh, well, there must be something horribly wrong with this house. I don't know if this is going to be a good fit because you don't seem to want to tell me anything. Okay, well, thank you. Good luck. Oh, well, no, there's nothing wrong with the house. I mean, stop jerking me around, guys. That's my attitude. I'm not here to counsel people and give them, psychiatric evaluations and ask the deep. I'm not Dr. Phil. I'm not trying to, I'm asking you how long you lived there, for Pete's sake. That's my attitude.
Right.
So you kind of have, sometimes things pop in our brains in the middle of these conversations. And we think, oh, I couldn't say that. That would be maybe offensive or something. No, there's a reason why that popped in your head. Say it. Spit it out. Do what Claude does. You're not allowed to think about it. What? I'm not allowed to think about it. Come right out with some of those bold statements that hit your brain, because that's really what needs to be said here. And a perfect example of that is that Tommy Boy movie when he says, hey, well, you could get a good look at a T-bone by sticking your head up a bull's ass, but I'd rather take the butcher's word for it. What the hell does that even mean? Nobody even knows. But it popped in his head. He came out with it. It changed the state of the conversation, and now he's on top again. Okay? So that's part of it, guys. And you'll pick this up as you get experience moving forward.
The T-bone close.
The T-bone close. I love it. Yeah, that's great. That's great. Right. Okay, good job though, Dion. Good job, man.
Thanks.
Good job. Yep. When you get to the end of the qualification section, Dion, don't feel rushed. You're the decision maker here. You can decide to qualify or disqualify this guy. And when you move into the closing, remember, you're not required to shoot your shot until you're ready.
Right.
You don't have to say, don't let this guy push you, push the tempo, push nothing. You're the buyer. He's the guy looking for money. not you. Okay, so
Absolutely.
yeah.
Definitely got to keep
But I
that in
thought
mind. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, man. Good job though.
Great job, man.
Okay, who else wants to join in here? Do you want to flip the script, Greg, and go at it?
I got to learn sometime.
Okie dokie. Who's going to be the homeowner this time?
I could do it.
Jimmy.
Jimmy
Jimmy,
J.
it's so good to see Jimmy.
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing
J.
good.
Jimmy Jam.
Jimmy. Hey, Ryed here in the Facebook group was wanting to partner up with you on some deals or something, man. You might check him out.
Okay.
He's a great guy too.
Okay.
All right. So Jimmy's the homeowner. Greg is the caller.
Okay.
And here's the screen, Greg, for you.
Yes, sir.
And you guys can start whenever you're ready. Always set the agenda. You got 3 minutes. You must fire him if he sucks. Okay.
Right.
Has anybody ever been fired before?
Me.
But besides me? Greg has, I could tell. Yeah, Greg, you look like me and you might have gotten fired on the same day for the same reason. All right, let's go ahead and start, guys. Whenever you're ready, ring, ring.
Hello.
Hello, Jimmy.
Hey. Who's this?
This is Greg Allen. I'm an investor, and I actually you had responded to a text that I sent out. I'd asked that if you would be interested in selling your rental on a short-term lease, and you had said you would have some interest. Does that sound
Yes.
right?
Yes, that actually sounds right.
Okay. Okay, good. Well, Jimmy, is this a good time? Do you have a few minutes to talk right now?
Yeah, I got 5 minutes. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay, good. I wanted to ask you. Well, before I ask you anything, let me just say this: if at any time this conversation starts not to make any sense to you, you have the right to fire me and don't feel bad about it. Is that fair?
That's totally fair with me. I don't even mind firing people. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. All right. That's what we need.
Okay. So what questions you have for me? I got
Well,
5 minutes.
I have quite a bit of information from Zillow. I've looked this up, but it doesn't tell me everything. So do you mind just telling me a little more about the house?
Oh,
How do you feel about it?
thanks for even asking me. The property is a 3-2. It needs some work. I actually started on it, but I wasn't able to finish the job. I just lost my job and stuff. So it's gonna need a new kitchen. It's gonna need a new bathroom. The roof is brand new. It's gonna need some touch up as well as far as paint. What else you would like to know about the property?
Well, I couldn't tell from the ad. Are you actually living in the property?
Yes, I'm actually living in.
Sounds
I've been here
like
for about 18 years now.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's home, isn't it?
Of course.
So, are you? I probably should have listened a little better here, Jimmy. But are you telling me the reason that you're moving out is because of the job loss, or is it something else?
Great maneuver. Great maneuver.
Yeah, it's actually because of the job loss. Due to the coronavirus, I lost my job, and the money that I actually was getting paid for my job was paying the bills, and I can't even afford the mortgage anymore.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry to hear about the job. It's really happening to a lot of people, but that doesn't make it any easier for you, does it?
No, it really doesn't, man.
Okay.
It's nights I can't even sleep. My wife's actually concerned. I'm worried about my kids, where we're going to be able to live, in a couple of months. I'm worried about eviction. It's a lot going through my mind every day.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, maybe we can figure out something here today that'll help with that situation. Would that be okay if we could?
Yes, that would be great with me. But yes, I'm ready.
Okay.
What else you'd like to know?
Well, it says here the price is $250. Is that right?
Yes, the price is actually $250.
Okay, all right. And do you mind telling me how you arrived at that particular price?
Oh, good question. Thanks for asking me. Actually, I did appraisal on the property, and my appraiser came back and he told me it's worth 250.
Okay, okay, good, good. Do you happen to know what the prices are for houses around you that have sold lately?
Properties, my next door neighbor, his property sold at 265 down the street. I seen it sold at 272. I've seen properties in those area at that price range.
Okay, good, good.
Okay.
I know you mentioned something about, what was the repair you mentioned, Jimmy? You said it needed something.
Just know the roof is brand new and everything else gonna need some work.
Everything else is going to, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Roof is
and
brand
you live-
new, so you don't have to worry about a roof for the next 20, 30 years. But everything else gonna need some update, little touch up.
So you're saying that the appraiser said it's worth 250 with all that, but that's taken into consideration all the
The roof,
repairs.
correct. Because of the properties in the area sold at 270, 275. And
Okay.
she said I can actually get at least 250 in the condition it is, because it's really outdated. It sounds like you told me you're an investor, and I'm pretty sure you guys want updated products in the property. So it's really just outdated, but it's in great condition, the property.
I get it. Okay. Tell me, are you getting a good amount of showings of the
Yeah.
property?
I get a showing every you could say about every single day, but nobody having committed as far as purchasing the property.
So you're saying a lot of people are looking, but you haven't had any offers. Is that right?
Ask him why nobody's made an offer.
Okay, Jimmy, I just had a thought. Do you have any idea why you haven't had any offers?
Boom. Oh, it's real. I love it.
And, the last person that, a couple of people that told me they came in, took a look at the property, they like it, but everybody was actually was complaining about the kitchen, that it's going to need to be updated. Like I mentioned before, it's going to need some touch up in the property.
Yeah, that is true. A lot of people. Yeah.
Towels, and that's the reason why I didn't really sell. Like I mentioned, if I had that extra money, I would have just, fixed it up and stuff like that, and I'll be fine.
So, Jimmy, you seem to be really wanting the 250. Would you say that you're a little bit flexible on that price, or not?
What's your offer?
Ooh, touche. Don't let him push you. Don't let him push you.
Well, really, it's a little quick for me to make an offer. I can tell you this: if we can do business, if we can figure out a way to do this, I'd be ready to do business today. But
Yes.
I really need to know a little bit more about the property before I could really tell you what that is. But we can do it pretty quickly. We can do that today also, if you can just answer a few more questions.
Okay.
You wouldn't want to do that today now, would you?
Like I mentioned before, now I'm pressed for time. I got 3 minutes left, and what more questions you have for me? I've been on the phone over 5 minutes now. What more questions you
I'll tell
have
you
for
what,
me?
Jimmy, the truth is, I do need a little more time with you. So what I'd say is, since you're really pressed for time, let me just give you the choice. Would you rather we get back together, say tomorrow or the next time you have a little bit more available time, or would you rather just take a little bit more time with me? It's whatever is better for you.
Since you mentioned that I should wait till tomorrow, then let's wait till tomorrow. and see if you could come up with an offer.
That'll be fine. I'll be glad to do that. And let's I tell you what, just so we nail it down, there's no misunderstanding. How about we set a time? Could you do tomorrow again about this time, or is earlier in the day better for you?
We could do tomorrow at 12. It's fine.
12 o'clock. Okay, and you will have time to talk then?
Correct. I have time to talk to you and everybody else that's been calling me.
I got it. That's fair enough. Thank you very much. You have a great day.
Wait. Now, tomorrow at noon, when we talk, if I have an offer that makes sense for you,
Good.
what happens next?
Yeah.
You see?
Well, you know,
If tomorrow at 12, I can come up with something that really does make sense to you. What next?
well, you know, if the numbers make sense for me and the offers and everything, and I like it, I believe we can actually move forward.
Okay, that sounds great to me, sir. So we're definitely confirmed for 12 o'clock tomorrow. We're definitely confirmed that if I give you a reasonable offer that we can go forward.
Correct. Keep
Boom!
my offer, and we can
I
move
do
forward.
appreciate that, sir. Thank you very much.
No problem. You're welcome.
Great. That's a great job, man. Great job. Both of you did super good there. Greg, excellent job. You stayed right on task. You nailed the agenda. I love your tonality. I love your voice. I love your rhythm. Everything is really good. The agenda, nailed it. Roadmap, nailed it. Got permission to ask questions, nailed it. Give them permission to fire you, nailed it. The why, you dug into this and turned the screw 4 times. Whew, good job. Money, 4 times. Timing, twice. Commitment, if you include that at the very end, twice. Great job. What was he on a scale of 1 to 10?
You asking me?
Yeah.
I think he's an 8 as far as getting rid of that. He might be higher than an 8. He's got a real bad problem.
Okay. So you are prepared tomorrow at noon and on your follow-up call then to go right into the closing section, recap what you learned from him today, maybe bond with him for a minute, offer to solve those issues for him with your offer. Bada bing, bada boom. Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What about you, Jimmy? Where were you on the scale of 1 to 10? Is he right or is he wrong?
Yeah, he was right. I'm motivated. I'm ready to move forward. If he could have actually really commit, as far as instead of me getting off the phone, I told him I get a lot of phone calls, but tomorrow I might not even pick up the phone. I'm gonna ghost him. He could have just brought the pain back up and make me feel my problems. And then go back into the offer.
How could he have done this, Jimmy? Explain it to us.
Well, Mr. Jimmy, you mentioned that, you just lost your job. You can't afford it. You're worried about your wife, your kids. You worried about eviction. Are you sure this is, what you want to do?
That's a great point, Jimmy. You're right.
Woo, boy, we got some ninja shit going on in here today.
Yeah.
This is good stuff.
Yeah, you gotta close the deal again. For me, Justin
go.
almost knows me. I try to I want to see what number works for him, and if it works for me, perfect. If not, move on. Again, I try to, like I say, one cook off. For me, I gotta make sure that I get the numbers out that he wants. Like for that one, I would have told him, well, what's your for me? It's different because I don't do leases.
Yeah.
I do mainly like wholesales or sub twos. Ask him again. So what's your cash price? It seems like you want to sell. It's not selling. It's showing, but it's not selling. What price will we even consider?
Yeah.
Give me a number. When he says, well, what's your offer? It seems like you want to sell. I have money, but I got to make sure this deal makes sense.
Makes sense.
Put it back on him when he tells you what's the offer. What's your offer? It seems like you have it listed, but nobody's buying it.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how again, sometimes it's a little bit fast for me to say yeah or nay and move on. Sometimes I learn from Justin to slow it down, but like this one, just hearing you guys out when he says, "What's your offer?" He's throwing it back. You throw it back in. Well, what? Like, you offer me, or what's your offer? You have the house, I have the cash,
Yep.
and that's pattern interrupt. You're gonna be like, oh, he's gonna be, oh, wait a second. It's true. Don't you want my cash, seller? He's like, yeah. Well, you make me a deal
Mm.
because you
Well,
have it listed. It's not
well,
selling. It's showing.
Well,
There you go.
well, you know, Ace, I was, pretty much if I could walk away with 235, I'd be happy with that.
Okay, what do you think it's worth? What do you have it listed for?
At 250.
Okay, what is that after you remove the selling costs, commissions, closing costs? What does that net you? Maybe like 200?
You know, maybe around 200, 200 some change. You know, I'm not a professional in real estate, so I don't know too much. I just know 235. If I could walk away with some money, I'd be happy. So,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. Again,
how do you
that
feel
looks
about
fantastic.
235?
235. That sounds like a great price for a retail buyer. Again, I'm an investor, so I gotta make sure this deal makes sense for us. I'm not even close to 200, man. I don't know if that 235 kills this deal. Is that fair to say?
You know, it's fair. Thank you for even telling me. But what's your offer?
Yeah, I'm not even close to 200.
What's your offer?
Yeah, like I said, I'm close to 200.
You're close to 200. That's how much you want to give me?
Yeah. Again, I can't pay retail for a house that I know I'm gonna pay at least 20K to sell it. Again, it's like you, like if you sold that house at 235, take away the seller's closing costs and everything, you're paying at least 15K just to sell it. You know what I mean? Now, I do want to buy a property again, but I gotta make sure when I show this property to my partners that they don't slap my face because I bought a bad deal.
Yeah, you know, I can't move forward with 200. You know, that's not
Yeah,
going to be.
and that's what I thought. Now, before we hang up, again, cash doesn't make sense. Are you even open to maybe holding the deal for maybe
There
I
you
can
go.
pay you in 36 months,
There you go.
or is it dead?
When you say 36, what is it that you mean? I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
I'll pay monthly payments for 36 months, and then I'll cash you out at your price.
What is that? I never heard of that before. Could you explain to me?
It's like when you buy a car. You buy a car for 36 months and then you pay it off.
What is that? What you mean? I don't understand.
Okay,
You know,
have you-
I'm not in real estate, so could you help me understand? Like, what is it that you mean?
Yeah, it's simple. Again, the attorneys draft the paperwork. Again,
Okay.
I'll pay you for 36 months at your price. Basically, I'll pay you a monthly fee, and in 36 months, I gotta pay off the 235 that you want. But
Okay.
it sounds like that's not something that you're looking for, or is it?
It sounds good, but my question is, will I be able to get a deposit? Will you give me a deposit?
Well, if I
Yep.
could, what kind of deposit were you looking for?
There you go.
You know, that's a good question, and since the property's worth, a good penny, I was thinking around what, 18,000 deposit. How do you feel about that?
That's on the high end. Let's say if I could do something close to that 18K, and I can put it in the paperwork where you can get 18K down or close to it, are we okay and getting the agreement signed and said and done so you can email it and you'll sign it, or probably not?
How close you can actually get me close to the 18K?
Again, I still have to run over my partner. Again, don't hold me to this. Again, I probably from 10 to 15, depending on the area, depending on the conditions, if there's any deferred maintenance that I got to do. But again, I don't even know if that's something you're going to be agreeing to. Does that work for you, or probably not?
Could we do 12?
You know what? That might work. Again, I can convince my partners of that. If I send you the agreement today at your email at gmail.com that says that I'm gonna take over payments for 36 months and give you around 12K down, what happens next?
Let me speak to my wife.
You gotta speak to your wife. Well, you know what, sir? That's perfect, understandable. Again, I have a wife, and my wife goes crazy if I don't talk to her about things. Now, I am trying to do something today. If I call you at 5 p.m. and explain to you everything that I explained to you right now, what would your wife and you say then?
First I need to, run things by my wife, and if my wife's okay with everything and it makes sense, and I believe we can actually move forward.
Okay. So sorry, I didn't hear that.
Yes, I said I believe we could probably move forward.
When you say believe, is that what is that?
That means, we might be able to move forward. That means maybe we might be able to move forward.
Yeah, you know what? Again, I apologize. Again, I'm a little bit harsh when I talk to my fellow property sellers. But again, I gotta make sure that I'm certain that. Again, you can always tell me no.
Okay.
But I want to see it's either going to be a yay or nay at 5 p.m. Does that work for you, or probably not?
Boom. Scarcity.
Yes, 5 p.m. we could get back on the phone. And if my wife's okay with it, because, like I say, she's the one that make the decisions. I'm the one that's, making sure the bills paid and everything, making sure everything's under control, but she makes the decision. So 5 p.m., get back on the phone. If she's okay with it, we can move forward.
Perfect. Okay, let me set it up 5 p.m. I'll call you the answer.
Okay, then. I appreciate it.
Okay. What do you guys think? Great job there. Great job on the role play there.
That was good. That was good stuff.
That was awesome.
The only thing I would have probably done is whenever someone else is introduced into the conversation, I always try to get them on the phone with me.
Yeah.
Like, is your wife available right now? Why don't we get on the phone right now? Can we, is it okay if I explain to her? Because sometimes in my experience, it kind of gets lost in translation. So, if we can do it right now at 5 o'clock, we can probably lock this down and, move you on to the next phase. Is that something that we can do today, or maybe not?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Yeah, I could have done that.
That would be the only thing I would have,
Yeah. And always, again, the thing that we learned from Justin and Claude, you got to be certain with what you want. You can't, again, it's with everything. You got to be certain and be specific on what you want from life. Like, you know what? I want to buy this house. I need a yes or a no. I don't need a maybe. I don't need a believe. I need a yes or a no. Again, you can always fire me. Again, you don't have to sell me your house, but you got to tell me yes or no, or tell me no right now, and I'll move on to the next property. The same thing to this same strategy.
That.
The guy that I locked up yesterday, I told him, well, how long is this good for? Well, sir, you know what? If I commit to you right now, I can't commit to the guy next door or the next call that I get. I need a yes or a no right now. And he told me, okay.
Great.
Because people, if you let them do it, they'll string you along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tried to train my.
Also, I don't mean to interrupt, but I love the way you kept using the partner deflection.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not me, it's my partner.
That's ninja. That's
Yes.
ninja.
Yes. If you don't have a partner and you want a partner, make me your partner.
Right.
I'll be your fake partner for a day.
Yeah.
Will you be my partner?
Right.
Won't you be my partner? I'm gonna put my sweater on.
Right.
Great job, guys. Really good. Lots of excellent skills coming to bear here. I got a question that I must answer here. This is Bernadette. She's new. Welcome, Bernadette, to the club. She's in our VIP club. She's just watching right now on the Facebook group, and she says this: "Hello, could you please tell me on a $150,000 home what to say when the seller insists on a $5,000 down payment? My issue right now is what to say when they are asking or demanding a down payment. Thank you. I love this club." Okay, thank you. We're so glad you're here, Bernadette. I'm putting this out here to the group. What can we tell Bernadette that she should say, or how she should handle a $150,000 home when the seller is insisting on $5,000 down?
What about putting $100 down today and in 15 days putting the remaining balance after you get your due diligence done?
Bernadette, is this an ugly house or is this a lease option? That's what we're missing.
It sounds like a lease option.
Yeah.
It's 5K. It sounds like a lease option. Like, yeah, if I can get my partner to agree at the 5K, again, do we have an agreement ready to go so I can email it to you? Or probably not, because 5K on a $150 house, you are at least taking at least 13K down, don't you? 13, 15K
Well,
down, 10%?
see, in my mind, you should be able to get 10K at least
At least.
on
Yeah.
a lease
So
option.
yeah, so you keep half and
So you give them 5, you
You
keep
keep
5. This could
Yeah.
work, Bernadette, as the lease option. Now, if I think David Rodriguez was coming at us with the idea that maybe this is an ugly house type scenario or a discounted type cash kind of offer. If that's the case, then David's right. Well, if I give you 100 now and then I give you the rest when the keys are exchanged, okay. Or if I give you the full amount when we close or when the keys are exchanged or at some point after my inspection period, the day it ends, okay. Anything you can do to delay it, then you can bring a cash buyer to the table and make them pay some of this money, okay. $5,000 down would not really be a very good thing for an ugly house scenario. This is 5,000 is too much earnest money here. Too much earnest money.
yeah, if you're talking about earnest money, or is this like a
yeah.
like a down payment for a buy and
Yeah.
hold, or is this like a lease option? More specific for a down payment, like when they tell me, well, like for an escrow deposit for the ugly houses that we do buy, it's like, well, I can do 10,000, but you're not getting this money. Again, the title company is getting this money, and then once they confirm that I have title and it's good, then you get the difference.
Yes. So
Put it to
oftentimes,
them.
yes. So oftentimes when a cash deal is at hand and it's a discounted wholesale deal and the seller's like, well, I'm going to need $5,000, you know, to show that you're good faith. This is good faith money, earnest money, deposit. Okay. 5,000 is crazy for $150,000 house earnest money. I will just simply say this. I'll say, Mr. Homeowner, how much do you think that property would rent for? Well, I'm not renting it. I know, and I'm not asking you to rent it. I'm just curious. The neighborhood in that house, what do they rent for 30 days, you know, payment? Well, about $1,500 a month is what I'm guessing. Okay. Well, then basically I'm asking you to let me put this property under contract at this price, and I'll give you $1,500 then, because I'm only asking for 28 days. I'm not going to give you $5,000 for a month. Nobody is. If you can be more reasonable in 1,500, I'll do 1,500 cash to the title company at the last day of my inspection period. Is this more reasonable, and can we move forward, or is this over? Okay, that's how I would handle that scenario in a cash money deal. On a lease option, you could take the deal as it is and still make $5,000, right? Maybe more, right? Okay. I hope that helps, Bernadette. I hope that helps.
Look,
It's all
Justin,
about how you talk to the seller.
Justin, yeah, she want to know how you would like actually word it to the seller, so she can actually be able to move forward. She want to know how you're going to word it.
Okay. She did clarify in the chat, it is a lease option. And she's like, do I guarantee it? Okay. What I guarantee is that we will give you the $5,000 when we exchange keys. Okay. That's it. That's my only guarantee. If we don't exchange keys, you ain't getting 5,000. That's really what I'm trying to insinuate here. But when we exchange keys, though, see, that means to me that I'm successful. I've got a tenant buyer bringing me 10K. And everything's in place. They exchange keys. The money's been transferred. Now you can have your 5K. Okay. That's how I would word it. I would word it like this. I would be more than happy to include Mr. Homeowner. If I change the agreement to read, you get $5,000 when we exchange keys. Does this make you more comfortable? And can we go ahead and move forward, or are we done? Anybody got anything maybe they could add to that or play with? Okay.
Would you try to negotiate that down also?
You could. Mr. Homeowner, I understand. Okay, here's where we at. Let me show you on the screen real quick. I know we're going long again today, and I don't want to belabor this and wear everybody out with it, but here's where we're at on the chart. When we're talking about this section, we're talking about the talking about this right here, the confirm, change, and close. Mr. Homeowner, I'm confirming with you right now that you're asking for $5,000 in cash in your pocket. Is that correct? Yes. Okay. In order to do the deal, you need $5,000 in cash in your pocket. Okay, I understand. If I change the agreement to read that you get $5,000 cash money in your pocket when keys are exchanged, does that make you feel more comfortable? And can we go ahead and do the deal now?
Boom.
Confirm, change the agreement, close. You see how that works? Now, if I want to negotiate it down, I'll say, Mr. Homeowner, I understand you're asking for $5,000. I'm confirming. If I change the agreement to read that you get $2,500 cash money in your pocket when we exchange keys, is this something we could go ahead and move forward with, or probably not? Oh, well, 2,500, that's half of 5,000. I said 5,000. I know, Mr. Homeowner, 5,000's a lot. If I were to, and I know you need some cash in your pocket, but if I were to change the agreement to read $3,000 when we exchange keys, is that something you would consider, or probably not? Well, well, let's split the difference and call it 3,500. Okay, so I'm confirming, if I 3,500 cash is what you're asking for. If I change the agreement right now to read $3,500 cash money in your pocket when we exchange keys, are you ready to do the deal with me right now? I'll send you the agreement. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay, I just made another $1,500. That's how I do it. Anybody got any? Greg?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Would it make sense to ask what the significance of the 5,000 is?
Yeah, why not? I'm going to need $5,000 down. I need some skin in the game. I hate that phrase. It comes back from basketball tryouts in the 8th grade. I don't know why, but they wanted me to have skin in the game. I don't know what that means. I didn't know what it meant then. I still don't know what it means, because I like my skin right where it's at. But if they say that to me, I'll say, okay, I understand. You want some skin in the game. You want some cash in your pocket. How much cash are you talking about? $5,000. $5,000. I need $5,000. Oh, okay. $5,000. Wow, that's a lot of money. What would you do with so much money? Is that what you're talking about, Greg?
Yeah, I want to know if there's a real reason he's got to have 5,000, or if that's just a name. If that's just a number he's picking out of the air.
Yeah, and you're right. He may have a real reason he needs 5,000 exactly, or he may just be pulling that number out of his hat. And the more you question him about it, the less strong he is on it.
Sounds like a pretty round number. So
yeah,
probably.
Yeah. Well, I really want to go buy a jet ski real bad. You know, one of them Sea-Doos. I want to take it down on the lake. It's going to cost me about $5,000 to get that in the trailer. Oh man, I love Sea-Doos. Those are great, man. Talk about a good time. I want you to get a Sea-Doo also, but I'll tell you, 5,000 is a lot for me. But I know you need money in your pocket. Confirm. If I change the agreement today to read that you get 2,500 in your pocket on when we exchange keys, is that something we can work with, or maybe not? See, confirm, change, close. Read between the lines, Mr. Homeowner. No, I'm just kidding. Y'all didn't see that, did you? No, maybe you did. Okay, so that's how I would handle that. I hope that helps, Bernadette. You guys have been tremendously talented today. I hate to even end this session because I am high on it right now, man. I am so excited about you guys and the skills that you are showing. Greg, Dion, Ace, Arturo. By the way, if you don't know Ace, it's Arturo. Everybody involved here, Jimmy, and the rest of you that are putting comments in. you are really, 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 really improving. I want you to hear that from me. You're really improving. Now, some of you, that was the first time I heard you. And let me tell you, for the first time, ain't bad at all. You got some real skills there, Dion. You got some real skills there, Greg. We just need to polish you up. Okay. Like Kiwi. They used to call me Kiwi. That used to be my nickname. I hated it. Kiwi is boot polish. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
We just gotta throw some kiwi on it and polish you up a little bit. And that's about it, guys. So, but you're really, really nailing some of these concepts super good. So you should be pleased with your progress. The only way to get better is to practice. That's it. And that's why we're doing this right here. And that's why we're going to continue to do this as we continue doing what we do. Anybody have any? Yeah.
You know what I noticed with Ace? He's just a little. I think if he would work on that bond while he's trying to get that closed,
Yeah.
that would make the seller feel a little bit as, he don't have his defense up.
Yeah.
It's kind of, down.
Yeah. Exactly. That's a good
It's
point.
5 o'clock. I would have probably never picked up the phone.
Yeah, that's a good point. Here's where you're going to really want to try to bond with the guy. Slow down a little bit and relate, for crying out loud, right? That's what you're saying, Jimmy. Relate to me, for crying out loud. Show me that you listen to me and that you care. A little bit of right here in the why section, you can throw some hearts and start bonding with the guy. What about the money? Oh yeah, money, man, money can be a problem, and you can bond with people on money issues. Okay. So throw some hearts on the board too. All right. We didn't talk about that a whole lot today, but that's a big thing. It's about likability and trustability, right? Okay. So, great point, Jimmy. Great point. Great point. You could bond other places too, but those are two major places you can bond. How would you do that? Why are you wanting to sell? Oh, the wife divorced me, the job transfer, whatever. Oh, I got a buddy that went through that, and his wife left him and he got a different job and he had to move. And man, I tell you what, it's one of the most stressful times of his life. You're not going through something like that, are you? I'm bonding. I relate. Shit, I understand where you're at, Mr. Homeowner. I get it. It sucks. That's bonding. Yeah, slow down a little bit. Don't just check the boxes. Throw a few hearts in there too. Show them you're a real person, okay, that you really care and that you recognize he's a real person. She's a real person. All right. I love you guys. Anybody got anything else today?
Thank you.
Did you guys get anything out of this? Do you feel beat up at all, Greg? Did we beat you up or anything? You do? We beat you up a little bit?
Well, I need to be beat up. I need to learn how to do this.
Well,
no, but I did not feel beat up. No, I did not.
Okay, good. What about you, Dion? You feel good?
Oh, I feel great.
I feel wonderful, man.
Yeah.
I love you guys. All right, Jimmy, you are an expert, sir. You are very talented at this. Arturo, you too, everybody. Thank you. Love you so much. We have another resident expert in here, and it's Victor. Victor, ooh, he's dangerous. Dangerous, man. You don't want to even you don't even want to get on the phone with this guy unless you want to buy some shit, right?
And I always think of you when you say ninja.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let's go in there like ninjas, man. But this was fantastic. This was amazing. I got a whole bunch out of this. You know, Jimmy, that big player.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Arturo, he brings out. As far as Arturo, though, I just want to make a comment. I think he comes from a position where, he's just interested in going strength-wise. And I know a whole lot of people who kind of use his technique. They kind of no nonsense the deal, and it works for some people. And the Guts method, we're kind of taught a little different in terms of bonding, like Jimmy was talking. But Arturo, he kind of has, a way of just like, look, no nonsense, let's get this down. And my experience has been people respond to that as well. Like people will, they'll be like, this guy is serious, you know, I think he's going to get this done. You know, like he's a professional. He's going to get it done. He's no nonsense. And it puts them in a situation rather than you trying to meet them someplace. Make that, you know, he makes them come meet him where he's at. So it's just a little different approach, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why I appreciate that, Victor. And that's why I cut the team, because I do need to. That's when I'm where might be sometimes too direct.
Yes.
I need to be able to improve and
be reached with that.
Yeah. To improve in me being direct, I gotta to again. If I have a relation with somebody, I can be straight with them. So basically, I have to build the relationship first, so I can be straight with them in the back end. So yeah, that's why again, that's one of my main weaknesses, and maybe I'm just too direct with it. I just need to improve on the back end, so I can still be a little bit direct, but they know why I'm being direct.
Yeah, that's strong.
Yeah, here we have a little bit of a opposites. Most of us are not wired to be direct and to the point, right? Some of us are. That style works because that's who he is, and that's how he flows, and he has a pattern. He follows the same pattern we do, but he does it in his way. You might be the opposite. You might say, man, I'm more of a friendly, easygoing kind of cat, and I'd rather just kind of like make friends and all that. Okay, then you got to find a balance somewhere in the middle, right? Both sides have to find a balance in the middle, and do a little bit of both. Use this like a tool, a technique. I'm kind of the guy that likes to, I'm, believe it or not, I have to work at being firm. I have to work at coming at it direct, because I'm more of the lazy, you know, talker, chit chatter, friendly. Oh yeah, he liked me. That means a lot. It don't mean shit, but he liked me. I didn't, you know, I didn't make any money, but he liked me. You know,
I don't need new friends.
I tell my wife, hey, you know, I didn't make any money today, but I got a new friend I met in Alabama.
No, friend of yours to buy you a burger then.
So we're
give you a debit card you can use at the store.
Yeah, right. So wherever you're at on that spectrum, you know, you got to find some balance, and definitely. Practicing is great for that. I love you guys.
I think the point is that everybody has a personality.
Yes.
And if you stick to the principles and the methodology in terms of the process, keep your personality. Like, your personality is your personality. If you try to change that, this whole thing becomes just a must.
Yes, that's right. And a lot of times the things that you think are mistakes, the homeowner doesn't even recognize as anything. Right. So the show must go on. You know, just keep it rolling. I liked earlier when Greg did this. Greg made this point perfect earlier today when his role play partner said something like the why, and then Greg, he was going to follow up with another why question and kind of turn the screw. And he literally said this. He said, you know, I might not have been listening good enough. Let me make sure I understood you correctly. Man, is that the most unpolished shit you ever heard? But it works.
Yeah.
It's real, man.
Yeah.
You know, so kudos to you, Greg, because, you know, some folks would look at that and be like, oh man, I messed up. I didn't even remember what he just said. Oh no, dude, that's human. I might not have been listening good. Let me make sure I recap what you were saying right. You know, perfect. You know what you're doing? Accidentally building empathy. Accidentally building momentum, accidentally building emotional connection with this guy, accidentally making him fucking like you, right? All perfect. You don't be so harsh on yourself, guys, because the homeowner don't know what you know. You already know 100 times more than that guy. So let it roll off your back like ducks, like water off a duck's back. Love you guys.
All right, thanks, buddy.
Shut up.